Okay, I'm back. It's Andrew, the Amazon expert, and we're looking at which categories you can sell in. Now, there are many things that you've got to consider when selling on Amazon, and one of them is what categories you're going to put your product in. Now, Amazon make it fairly straightforward, but the UK and European platforms differ slightly from the US platforms on the .com side of it. So if you are going to go on both platforms, you need to look and investigate both of them to see which categories you go in. Now, Amazon have some categories that are available for anybody to sell in, so you can take those. They also have some categories which need authorization or pre-authorization, where they're looking to see your previous seller performance to see whether you are eligible and whether you can sell on those categories. And also they have a Christmas and toys category. So toys are massive business worldwide for the Christmas festivities. And one of the things Amazon wants to do is protect its customers. And to do that, you have to qualify every year to be allowed to sell in the toy category. And if you do not meet certain metrics, and that is something we will come into in later modules, but if you do not meet certain metrics for customer service level, dispatch time, answering messages quickly, and lots of other things like that, then you will not be allowed to sell in that toy category. Now, that could be a major impact on your business. A little while ago, I had a company come to me who wanted to sell in the toy category, and we had a look at where they were, what they were doing. They had absolutely no experience in selling online. They were going to go to China and purchase some own branded product and bring it back, and wanted to sell it all on Amazon in one hit. But they had no Amazon account either, so they had no history. So there was no way in the timescales they were looking at that they were going to get enough history to qualify to sell toys on Amazon, as they were looking to do this in August. And by the time you got your accounts up and running, started trading, and got enough history behind you, it would have been too late for them to qualify. So it's very interesting when that happens. People come up with these ideas and think we will just go for that because we can. So what I'm going to do now is bring over a couple of tables for you to have a quick look at, and you'll get an understanding of what we mean. So here we have the categories that are available on Amazon that you can sell in. This is the .co.uk site for the moment that you can sell in, and you don't need authority. Now, you'll see that when we look at the .com site that there are differences in the categories, which you will need both approval, and you will also have some categories additionally that you can sell in. So all of these here, so Amazon devices, accessories, babies, books, cars and motorbikes, computers, etc., etc. I'm not going to read them all out to you because you can soon go through them. All of these areas here you can sell product in without pre-authorization. So if any of your products fit these categories, then fine. Word of warning: do not try to sell items in these categories that should be in an approved category, because if Amazon find them, which they have a very high chance of doing so, they may be removed and your account may be penalized in some way, could be suspended, or if you have really broken the rules, worst case scenario, your account may be closed. So be aware of that. But these are the categories you need to get approval. So beauty, clothing, computer accessories, electronic accessories, grocery, which is a lovely category, health and personal care, watches and jewelry. So those you need pre-approval before you start selling. Now, what do they mean by pre-approval? Well, they want to know a little bit about you. So they'll want to know who you are. They will want to see other sites that you are trading on. So let's say you're already trading on eBay and you have some good feedback. They will be looking at that feedback and evaluating how you run your eBay account from what they can see. The same may be on Play and your own website. They're looking to see if you have got the necessary qualifications to deliver the goods to the customers and deliver the customer service they expect, and also to have the backup customer service that is demanded. So if you're going to sell in any of these categories here, this is in the UK, European marketplaces, then you'll need pre-approval, and you need to go through and complete a pre-approval form, which is online with Amazon. If you've got any questions on that, you can obviously drop those questions in the comments box and we will come back to you with the answers. Now, if you are looking at the American market, it is slightly different. So I'm going to bring in the American market version for you now. Okay, here we are on the .com site. Now, these are the open categories that don't need any approval here at the top, so you can go through those. And pretty much as you would expect, that is pretty similar to the UK site. And again, in the previous video, we talked about new, refurbished, used. So things like cameras, camcorders, telescopes, they can be obviously refurbished or used. Things like cell phones or mobile phones. So you can get some good ideas here that you can sell some used or refurbished goods as well. And there are some collectible, there's one there, music, collectible areas as well, where you could be looking at items which just have high value because they're now moving towards the more desired collectible and potentially antique style, although antique is a difficult one to sell online because of shipping more than anything else. Come on to that in a later module. So there we are. You can see there's a lot of open categories that you can just go and use. And then if we go down here you have your categories requiring pre-approval. So then you've got to go through all of those and you need to make the inquiry to them if you are in any of those there, so that you can go through and get the approval that is required. Now, this is just an example here. Every single one that requires approval will have some level of request from Amazon, and it differs from category to category. So I'm only going to show you this one as an example because it is fairly typical of what they're looking for. So they're looking for existing social media channels, perhaps. They're looking for other websites, shops, things like that you've got. They're looking to make sure that you are a genuine person who will give clients a genuine deal and have the ability to deal with and look after the customer service element. Obviously, if you're going through Amazon FBA to do the customer delivery and customer service, then it's a little bit less of a score. But if you're going to do it yourself, if you're going to do all the customer deliveries and services yourself, they're going to look a little bit deeper because they need to know that you will still deliver that same customer service that Amazon expect, and so do Amazon customers. Okay, now the Christmas toy category is always a heated one to make sure you get through and you're able to do so. So what you've got to do is you've got to go and find out what the guidelines are, and they change year by year. Obviously, this one is for a different year going back a little bit, but you'll get an idea. They're looking to see that you have got a fulfillment rate that is clear and good. They're looking to make sure your dispatch rate is on target. They don't want anybody who is late delivering goods consistently. You're late, Father Christmas may not be late, you've got some unhappy children. Things like that is what they're looking at. Your return rate must be also no greater than 1% of sales. So you're going to have to look and see. Now, this criteria will change from Christmas to Christmas, and it changes and tweaks slightly every year, but this will give you a broad understanding if that is the market that you want to attack. So hopefully that's given you some ideas on categories, and we can then move on to start looking at how we start listing things on Amazon, which is possibly more of a key thing to moving forwards. But what this module has done is given you some of the things to think about, the pitfalls, but more importantly, the information so that you can make informed decisions about how you move forward. So this is the end of module 1, and I am going to wrap this video up now, and I will see you in module 2.